I don't know if anybody else has been paying attention, but for like the last 10 years, things have been speeding up exponentially. They already said that the Earth is spinning faster than ever before, so the days are becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. How many of y'all are feeling the effects of that? I don't know, but one thing I can tell you is that things are changing, and I can show you in this video. Make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can get these videos as soon as they drop, and we're on our way to 1 million subscribers. We'll be there someday. But look, let's get to this video. Make sure y'all paying attention. Don't skip a thing or you will get lost into the sauce, man. But this is another banger.
The reason why our governments are allowing illegal immigrants to flood our countries, and it's because chaos means that we need control. What Western governments are doing now is manipulation. It's so that we, the people, will accept digital IDs. But if we accept digital IDs, what we're doing is we're saying goodbye to privacy and democracy. It will basically turn us into China and a communist country. Governments will have the power to say, oh, you said something wrong on social media, so you're not allowed healthcare now. Oh, now you're not allowed to use any sort of public transport. You can't go abroad, you can't use buses, you can't even fill your car up. You can't trust the government and you can't trust the mainstream news unless you learn to think for yourself and start noticing patterns in the world. You're screwed, and you're also screwing the rest of us over too, because you're a retard.
Dying for this information. There was some sort of list that everybody thought was going to come out, and who's on the list. What's important for us to note is we shouldn't be repeating names that are on the list, because just because your name has not on the list, but in the documents, just because your name is on the documents doesn't mean that you have done anything criminally irresponsible or illegal or civilly irresponsible.
Or that you were a client.
Or that you were a client. These documents, as I read them, only reflect Epstein's sexual assaults of women and his sexual behavior. So I think that...
And Ghislaine also?
And Ghislaine. And so being named in this suit does not equate to being accused of wrongdoing. And I think that is extremely important, because conspiracy theorists seem to not understand or enjoy facts.
Yes.
These are the facts.
There is a list. Trump's name is on the logs, the passenger logs of Epstein's aircraft at least 7 times. That's already been made public. I mean, of course, Trump is denying any and all allegations, but all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
I'm very confused about the Genius Act. I thought there was a deal made by the president to make sure that included was going to be the central bank digital currency. There'd be no possibility of a backdoor to get that. So where are we?
Steve, let me explain something. In 1971, we went off of the gold standard. The Federal Reserve did that. And we went to cash, a cash society. And the value of the dollar has drastically gone down to the buying power is less than 10 cents now from where it was in the 1950s before we went off the gold reserve. What's happening today on July 17th of 2025, when no one is paying attention, no one's talking about it, everyone is in blind rage about the Epstein files, and I don't blame them. However, right now, what is being voted on today in Congress is the entire setup, groundwork, and entire infrastructure being laid to move from cash to digital currency. And the number one thing that is not happening today is a ban on a central bank digital currency. This means the ability for the government to take control of your digital bank account where all your money is and turn it off. And this is why I'm so upset and it's not being talked about. Steve, I was the only no vote on the rule last night. And Congress set a record last night, and no one's talking about that either. This was the longest vote held open for a rule in history. And it finally shut down sometime around midnight because there was a deal made, and the deal will not be honored. It was a deal that Speaker Johnson made, and he said that he would put a ban on central bank digital currency in the NDAA. But let me tell you something, that's going to get stripped out in the Senate because what they told us all week long is the Senate does not have the votes to pass a ban on a central bank digital currency. So I want to lay this out straight for you all. You never thought in your lifetime that the government would shut you down, would close your churches, would close your schools, would close your business. And that happened only a few years ago. But what is happening today is the groundwork is being laid, and it's all in the name of cryptocurrency and stablecoin, but it is the entire regulatory process to switch us from cash to a cashless society to digital currency that can be controlled by the federal government. And there will be no ban on a central bank digital currency. There will be no way to protect your ability to fully control your digital currency in the future. And I'm voting no to this today. I don't know if there'll be any other no votes on the Republican side, but I'm voting no to this because I'm a Christian and I've read the Bible and I believe what Revelations 13:16 through 17 says. And I just cannot vote
for a
future system that will do that.
But okay, hang on. But I thought
she ain't tell us what it said, y'all. But look, man, do y'all feel it? It's the same thing that was going on when they wanted to change from cash to debit cards and credit cards and stuff. They was up in arms about that. Who was gonna do that? They was saying that was the mark of the beast too. They say everything to market the beast, man. But they want to keep people distracted, man. Because the new financial system is coming, y'all. And they want y'all arguing. They want y'all to have information about stuff that's not going to benefit you. At the end of the day, I'm going to be real with y'all. I kind of do get to play, though. Because everybody's not going to be able to get bona fides as super outrageously rich. Somebody still has to work. That's why they're partly having like robots take over a lot of these jobs. Like you see these little hubs around here where I stay at, they got like, they programming these robots to deliver food for like Uber Eats. They got the Waymos for, you know, Uber drivers and stuff like that, you know? Like, think about it. That's going to be everywhere pretty soon. So we got to start like restructuring the way that we're thinking out here. Let's get back to it though. But don't let them fearmonger you.
So supposedly the raw footage of Epstein's cell released by the White House was edited in Adobe, and me being a computer nerd and having nothing else to do with my evening decided to look into it myself. This is the official FBI memo. Down here there's going to be 2 links to 2 different videos. One is a edited video with higher contrast. That's the second video. This first video is supposedly the raw footage. So I followed that to this link. I downloaded the video. We can see it up here. And I'm going to guide you guys over to here where I'm going to run the following command, exif tool. It's an open source tool that's going to give me the metadata for this video. Boom. And if we look at this section right here, what do we have here? Ooh, Adobe XMP Core 9.0. And if we go down to these history actions, more importantly, we have a saved, created, saved, saved, saved. And then we can look at these history wins to see when these actions were made. So this first action was the created, and then we had about 3 hours, actually almost 4 hours between the initial project was created and this first save. And then all 3 saves after that were basically one after another. And what I can deduce from that is whoever this MJ Cole guy is, he just spammed the save key 3 times because he was really scared of losing all of his progress. And MJ, let's make more saves throughout our editing process so we don't have to worry about that. And I'm assuming that this last history win was placed in front for some reason. It seems to be the most recent. It also is tagged with a history instance ID that is not a Adobe XMP format history instance ID. So I'm assuming this is the ID that was exported. Anyways, the government thinks you're stupid, so don't let them get away with thinking that. That's the whole point of this video.
It's rare that I'm speechless. But I want to be sure I understood. The people running the Department of Energy for President Biden's administration shoveled $93 billion, not million, $93 billion out the door in 76 days And it just happened to be the time between when President Trump was elected and President Biden, their boss, was leaving. Is that right?
It is correct and distasteful. Confidence undermining.
So you're telling me that the Department of Energy, in the 76-day period before their boss was going to leave office, gave or loaned money to entities that had no business plan?
Correct.
No financials?
Correct.
Kids for 15 years to code. Learn to code, we said. Yeah, well, AI is coming for the coders. They're not coming for the welders. They're not coming for the plumbers. They're not coming for the steam fitters or the pipe fitters or the HVAC. They're not coming for the electricians. You know, that Ideas Festival I was telling you about in Aspen, I sat there and listened to Larry Fink say we need 500,000 electricians in the next couple of years. Not hyperbole. This is me being the alarmist again. There's not a week that goes by in my humble little foundation. It's called MicroWorks, shameless plug. We award work ethic scholarships every year, right, to kids who want to learn a skill that's in demand. These are trade school scholarships. Not a week goes by where I don't get a phone call from somebody like the Blue Forge Alliance, who oversees our maritime industrial base. That's 15,000 individual companies who are collectively charged with building and delivering 3 nuclear-powered subs to the Navy every year for 10 years, right? 2 Virginia, 1 Columbia class. Mind-bogglingly complicated. This guy calls and says, we're having a hell of a time finding tradespeople. Can you help? I said, I don't know, man. It's pretty skinny out there. How many do you need? He says 140,000. 140,000. Now, granted, over 7 years, but they need 80, 90,000 right now. These are our submarines, folks, right? Things go hypersonic, little sideways with China, Taiwan, whatever. Our aircraft carriers are no longer the point of the spear. They're vulnerable. Our submarines matter. And these guys have a pinch point because they can't find welders and electricians to get them built. Where are they? They said. We've looked everywhere. Do you know? I said, yeah, I know where they are. They're in the 8th grade, man. They're in the 8th grade. And the same thing, the automotive industry needs 80,000 collision repair and technicians. Energy, I don't even know what the number is. I hear 300, I hear 500,000 everywhere.
So as y'all can see, we're having issues with, you know, our infrastructure. We don't have, that's because they was teaching, they were so busy trying to mislead us. That's diabolical. Like, they were so busy trying to misdirect us and teach us the wrong things. That's why they're trying to change the curriculums now. You got everybody chasing these degrees for jobs that aren't even there for them. That's what happened to a generation, bro. Like, it's crazy. Because wrong leadership, man.
From a video game in 2001. It is very important to watch this to the end because there is a very important message.
Raiden, are you having fun playing with the new AI toys?
Well, yeah, I am. You can make pictures of cute anime girls and...
Enjoy it while it lasts, Raiden.
What do you mean?
Did you really think that civilians would be granted unrestricted access to such powerful military weapons forever?
Military weapons? Are you implying that this technology was created by the government?
Of course it was. This AI technology has been used by the intelligence agencies to warp the public's perception of reality for years. All in the name of national security, of course.
But why would they suddenly make the tech public and let everyone start using it?
Why would we indeed, Raiden?
What? Who? What in the hell are you?
Your question is irrelevant. By creating a new problem, we can cultivate a desired reaction to it in order to manufacture consent for our preferred solutions. In short, it's justification for a war.
A war? On who or what?
A war on misinformation. By arming the public with these AI weapons, everyone becomes a potential enemy combatant. Then we will have justification for unprecedented security measures. It all comes down to confusion and identity, Raiden.
Identity?
Identity. This AI technology is Pandora's box. Pretty soon the internet will be mired in total illusion. Perfect AI speech, audio, and video synthesis will drown out reality. Then AI bots will flood social media. No.
pretty freaky, right? Insane that they said this in a video game in 2001, but they didn't. Some of that clip actually happened, but a lot of it was actually created with AI, which is incredibly ironic. Like the video is talking about how AI is going to be used to warp public perception, and that same video is AI or edited to warp public perception.
Talk about the Bank of International Settlements, now talking about the replacement of the traditional system with XRP. This was listed or talked about in one of the articles listed today on Banxchange. You got to look into it. In fact, what it says in the article is that we're going to open up 1.9 quadrillion in annual global settlements that are going to now be shifted over to XRP. Now, this comes after a video that was released by Donald Trump talking about August 1st. Now, we'll talk about, you guys know what we've been talking about when it comes to August 1st, but listen in to Trump's. Now, actually, maybe even before we listen to Trump, so August 1st is supposed to be the institutional tokenization program on the XRP ledger through Banxchange. This is going to be built on the XRP ledger via a token called BXE token. We've been talking about it for a very long time, but I want you to listen to this video that supposedly leaked from Donald Trump.
That's really sacred about August 1st is that's when payment that you gave August 1st. Right. Why stick with the date if you're saying that payments start on August 1st? The only thing about that's really sacred about August 1st is that's when payment that you gave.
Now you heard it from Donald Trump. Payments start on August 1st, whatever that's supposed to mean. Interestingly enough, Ripple had applied for a banking license just a few weeks ago, and we're awaiting approval for that, in addition to Ripple's ETF, spot ETF, that's also supposed to be launching in the next couple of days. But again, the discussion of the concept of August 1st is Donald Trump talking about payments on the XRP ledger, which are scheduled to go live on August 1st through Banxchange. Again, this is part of the reason I'm super bullish on the BXE token. We've been talking about it, but the concept is you can see the utility of the token then and there. And if this request between Banxchange and Ripple goes live, which again talks about utilizing on-demand liquidity from Ripple over to Banxchange through their native token, BXE token, and then offering that as on-demand liquidity for all medium to small businesses. Essentially, any business would launch their own token on the XRP ledger. They would be backed by the BXE token, which is backed by Ripple's on-demand liquidity. And this could bring on trillions of dollars onto the XRP ledger. In fact, according to a Boston consultation group, this could bring on a $16 trillion worth of market onto the XRP ledger by 2030. In the meantime, even from a regulatory perspective, the Genius Act is now live. And in fact, when they did a deep down analysis of the Genius Act, it appeared to follow exactly XRP. And again, this is not anything surprising because Donald Trump himself mentioned that XRP specifically will be part of the Strategic Federal Reserve. Why name a specific token unless, again, it is part of a new ideology of payments for the new financial system? And again, this is crazy because it's already been happening and flowing over the last couple of years. And look at the number of institutions already utilizing XRP as we speak. But things are about to take a massive turn come August 1st. And I think we're going to see some massive price action for BXE specifically, because it is the token that's going to facilitate the entry of institutions onto the XRP ledger and the XRP token itself as we start to see even higher burn rates. Again, I think what you guys need to do, or what you should do, anybody that's like, okay, what is this BXE token? What is happening onto the XRP ledger? What does the XRP ledger even look like? Well, you should jump onto Banxchange.com and I'll show you something here because it's really important for the XRP ledger. Do it specifically, and I'll tell you why in 2 seconds. This article was just released a couple of minutes ago. It's very interesting. It talks about the Genius Act being tailor-made for XRP. The US blockchain bill could fast-track Ripple's vision for a digital financial infrastructure. Now, I delved deeper in this article, and what it talks about specifically is that all the points within this act actually fit exactly for XRP. The only currency that all of these metrics in the Genius Act fit are for XRP. In fact, it talks about possible negotiations that had been underwent between Ripple's team and the Trump administration. It also talked about a pilot program that had gone through for tokenization of asset infrastructure in federal agencies between the US government and Ripple. It also goes through a bunch of points, but this point was extremely interesting. You have to go through it. It talked about one of the points in the Genius Act being the tokenization program. A key clause in the Genius Act proposes a tokenization of public records, tokenization of government benefits, and even treasuries. This perfectly aligns with Ripple's recent move in the tokenization space, including the August 1st launch of institutional tokenizations. I'm going to leave you the link for this article in this video or in this post, so make sure you look into it. But the point is, there is something happening behind the scenes between the Trump administration and Ripple. And it makes sense because Trump had named XRP specifically. This is on CNBC. XRP specifically when he mentioned that the strategic reserve that the US government hold. In fact, this is the exact quote. President Trump announces the creation of a strategic Federal Reserve that will include Bitcoin, ETH, XRP. Now, I want you to listen to this video of Brad Garlinghouse that I found just a little while ago. Listen here.
The macro environment around custody digital assets is expected to be close to $10 trillion by the year 2030. And inevitably, people are going to need a place to store those assets, and safe, secure, and they're going to be able to transfer them as well, having good on and off ramps, even a tokenization engine, some of the work Ripple is doing around central bank digital currencies or CBDCs. So we think there's a lot of pieces that come together, and we already had, and I remember when you and I first spoke, I remember being on a call with one of the largest top 10 banks in the world, and a bank Ripple was already working with, and they were asking us about could we help them with their custody. This is prior to the Medico acquisition. And
so again, the reason this is 178 is because for every trillion in market cap, the price of XRP would go up to by $17.80. So 10 trillion, which is the number that Brad Garlinghouse himself mentioned, would put the price of XRP at $178. And what he was mentioning was tokenization on the XRP ledger, allowing for on-ramping and off-ramping. And interestingly enough, Banxchange, one of the fastest exchanges on the XRP ledger, announced that August 1st institutional tokenization is coming onto the XRP ledger. And again, this is less than or 11 days from today, and this is going to be massive. In fact, Banxchange is that exchange that I was telling you guys early on. Why? Well, because there was a proposal that was submitted between them and Ripple, or between Banxchange and Ripple, talking about enabling on-demand liquidity for medium to small businesses through a partnership between Ripple and Banxchange. Now, this proposal, we don't have a response on it, but talks about a 16 trillion in possible tokenization on the XRP ledger by 2030, according to Boston Consultation Group. Now, the way this is going to happen is the same way that Brad Garlinghouse was talking about just a few moments ago, where you have onboarding through Banxchange's on-demand liquidity, which would be provided by Ripple. Banxchange, through the BXE token, would provide the on-demand liquidity to medium to small businesses and essentially enable tokenization that way.
This is what they don't want people to know about. They want to keep y'all distracted with the things that they've given you to keep you busy. But man,
ledger the same way data flows on the internet. And I want you to
and don't let them fearmonger you. Like, for instance, how they were saying, oh, they're going to be tracking you. Well, when has that been an issue? They've been tracking us already. They track everything we do. And you can't even look. You can't go nowhere, bro. Like, it's cameras everywhere. They can track your phone location, your GPS, everything. Your camera on your phone is taking a picture of you like every 5 seconds. Facts. Your phone is listening to you. You have a conversation about a product, and then all of a sudden you'll go search on your phone, and they're trying to get you that product. It's the number one product that they're going to advertise to you everywhere you go. So when have we not been listened to, man? We got to get out of that. They want y'all to be like on one side or the other. They got people so angry at Donald Trump, and you can't stand this face on any picture, any article. You're not going to read it. You don't want nothing to do with it because they programmed you that way. They gave you things that would trigger you, and that's not even completely truth of actually what's going on. That's like you becoming a new employee and you come to the job and somebody that doesn't know you is sitting there telling everybody bad things about you and why they shouldn't be your friend. But then eventually everybody finds out that you're the cool person. You know, you got to find out for yourself. So I've become very neutral to a lot of different things. It helps me think a lot clearer. I'm not taking a side. I'm just seeing how in each instance, what is going to benefit me and my family more. And that's what we got to get to. But I mean, it is what it is though. Believe what you want. Let's keep going though. This is very, very interesting. Are you learning something? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you afraid? You seen what they did to Kanye West once? I mean, they shut his money down. Everything, right? They've done this to a plethora of people. So when did they not have the ability to do things? Oh, you don't pay your child support or you get a felony, something like that. They'll take your passport. You can't travel outside of the country. So they've been doing these things. This ain't nothing new. It is what it is, though. They're trying to scare y'all because they want you to be a worker for the rest of your life. That's real talk. That's scary. This is what rich people do when they get money. I might as well be one so I can stop them or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Where they serve, sandwiches as big as a baby's head, as big as a baby's head, as a baby's head.
Yes, and I actually was hungry, so I thought I would drop by and spend my time with you.
I want to make sure. I know that former President Clinton, your husband, is a vegan. He never says that sandwich had a face. That sandwich is somebody's little baby. That sandwich had a face. That sandwich is somebody's little baby. Nothing like that?
He doesn't say that.
What's something that you always carry with you? Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You getting information right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag? What?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now, listen, I want you to know people are going to teach me, okay? She's the black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Because I happen to have Hillary Clinton's purse with me right here, okay? I can report, yes, Hillary does carry around hot sauce. This is true. She does carry hot sauce. The important thing to know is that there is something for everyone. And for all you voting moms out there, you should know she always carries around.
In downtown Phoenix, Arizona, there's a restaurant called Hanny's. Not only is this a classier restaurant, but everything appears to be normal, at least on the surface. However, there are a couple things that raise an eyebrow. This is nothing. It gets much worse. I'm curious what type of art has dolls locked up in a basement. And as you can see, people feed this display money. This is something that would be strange for any restaurant. However, this particular restaurant is known for its pizza. So dolls locked up in a basement at a restaurant that specializes in pizza. The rest of the art is also strange. What's up with the doll faces on her behind? I mentioned this pizza place in another video and how the logo is a little too close for comfort. I'm not saying anything nefarious is going on with either of these pizza places. However, this type of symbolism came from somewhere. Therefore, this kind of thing exists. With that said, you'd think businesses would be more cautious about the logo and artwork choices.
What was his name?
Emery D. Gardner.
Emery D. Gardner?
Mm-hmm.
Show me his page again. So what did he come in and do, Daniel? What was this guy doing?
He came and asked if we carry triple bunk beds and if we had them in full sizes and how many kids if he could fit at least 3 kids in each bed. So 4 times 3.
That's a lot of kids.
About
So
30.
4 bunk beds?
4 triple bunk beds
All right. That fit
The
three per bed?
3 per bed.
That's crazy.
36 kids, I think.
Let's see. It seemed odd, so we went and looked. It's so slow. Gardner Emery. Weird.
Guess that's a small one.
So this is Fort Worth Police Department. Mr. Emery. He's what? What the hell did this freak do? Level 2 sex offender. That's crazy. Show us the house. This is what on Google Maps?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the front of his house. Bars. All in the windows. Weird. Show the back though.
I can have control this. Oh, the other way.
Another one.
What's the fucking address?
That's nuts. Hell no.
Bars on the windows and everything. All that's closed off.
And this guy wanted how many mattresses and beds?
12.
Hell no. Damn, age of victim at time of crime, 16, male. You nasty son of a bitch.
Oh.
Even in the back, there's bars.
Yeah.
It's,
Like a fortress.
update on the psycho freak that came to the furniture store. Fort Worth police came by today and said he is arrested. He's locked up. He's not on the streets. So
Good.
Good job, everybody.
I'm telling you, look, man, these creeps is just, they out here. They out here. And it's crazy. Nobody noticed the weird bars on his doors. Like the people that put him in, or did he do them himself? He had to put them shits in himself. Probably at nighttime when nobody was looking, because that shit's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's red flags. But this happens more than what people know. And that's why millions of kids go missing all around the world every single year.
We might just be witnessing the very world that we know, that we live in, change right in front of us. Mark Zuckerberg and his Meta crew are building Hyperion data centers. Get this, they will be the size of Manhattan. They've already spent billions of dollars on these digital data centers that are going to change the way you and I work and the way we get things done. In Louisiana, they're going to be building Hyperion, which is going to crack 5 gigawatt. It's set to be up and running by next year, 2026. To put it into perspective once again, that's Manhattan Island right there in New York City. These data centers will be just as big as Manhattan. One of the biggest questions that I've seen floating around is, where is the power going to come from to power these gigantic, enormous stations? Think about this. Mark Zuckerberg, in recent months, has been flying under the radar. Haven't seen him anywhere, haven't heard from him. That usually means they're cooking up something big. And this is that something big. So my question to you is, do you think this is going to be good for us? As you already know, and you can tell, they want AI and robots to run things to begin with. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Who actually allowed Bill Gates to make this decision? So Bill Gates has just been approved to go ahead with spraying his chemical aerosols into the atmosphere, the chemtrails, that literally are going to create clouds and block out the sun reaching Earth for climate change. This is the biggest load of BS that I've ever seen, and I can tell you why. The sun is not dangerous at all. If anything, the sun is the human population's best vitamin. It powers your mitochondria, it powers your cells, it powers your body's batteries. Yet the UK and soon the world are going to play a giant experiment on you without your consent to block the sun from a fallacy they call global warming. They're pretty much going to bounce the sun back. Well, they're going to use aerosols to block the sun's rays. The sun's rays that come in, they're going to bounce it back into the atmosphere so that we don't warm the earth anymore. But you know what's going to happen? Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are going to die by a lack of sun exposure. The UK already has over 50% of their population vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D powers 2,000 of your genetic expressions. 2,000. You've got 21,000 genes. Around about 10% use vitamin D to talk to each other. Cellular communication. Please tell me who allowed Bill Gates into our world. Please tell me who's giving Bill Gates permission. Is it
the money gave him permission? I'm telling y'all. Without us stepping up and getting to this bag, and it's not in a bad way, man. It's to look out for ourselves and our communities. Like, I would get this money, get off grid, start my own farm, everything else like that. We can have our own energy grid, y'all, to ourselves. We can have our own food to ourselves. We're going to have to get back to it.
Just a game of, if I've got money, I can do whatever I want, and even if I risk the entire human population. We need to stop this. Share this everywhere, right now. If you're in the UK, sign petitions. Start being loud about this, because this does not end well.
Have you seen this sticker on your produce lately? This sticker indicates that your fruit or veggie has been coated with a chemical called mono and diglycerides. It acts as a second peel to keep oxygen from getting into your fruit or vegetable in order to make it last longer. Watch here. The coating company is called Appeal, and its founders include the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and they also have high-profile celebrity investors such as Oprah Winfrey and Katy Perry, who believe that by making fruits and veggies last longer, as you can see here, you're helping fight climate change by reducing emissions and fighting food waste. There's no doubt that this invention will help the bottom line of businesses, but what effect, if any, will this engineered chemical have on the health of consumers? As you can see here on the company's FAQ page, what is Appeal made of? It's made of mono and diglycerides, but what is that? Mono and diglycerides are natural sources of fatty acids that come from oils such as canola oil, soybean oil, or palm oil, and many others. But the important thing that most people don't realize is that they contain small amounts of trans fats. According to the FDA, eating trans fats raises the level of LDL, bad cholesterol in the blood. And elevated LDL cholesterol in the blood increases your risk of developing heart disease, the leading cause of death in the US for men and women. But here's the thing. Even though mono and diglycerides contain trans fats, they're classified as emulsifiers and not lipids, and therefore the FDA ban does not apply to them. And if you want to wash the coating off like the traditional wax that's been on our produce, here's the company's FAQ page that says that you cannot completely remove it. Not only that, if you scroll down further on the FAQ page, it says that this coating is allowed on regular conventional produce as well as USDA organic certified produce. This produce is currently being sold across the United States as well as in grocery stores in Canada and parts of Europe.
Whoa, y'all, look, man, that's a lot. That's a ton of information, a lot of things to think about. But one thing we can see, man, hey, when creepy people get money, they become more creepy. They want to block the sun. They want to put bars and on windows and take kids. They want to spray stuff on food that we ain't asked for. All of these things, man. And a lot of people don't understand, like, when they say money make the world go around, it really does. It compromises everybody's decisions. It does. It really does. And a lot of decisions aren't going to be made in our best interest until we step up and start representing. Because we together are bigger than the small percentage. And it's many different things in place, as you can see from this video, to keep people thinking small, being afraid of making decisions, being afraid to see where somebody else is coming from. I think that's a big part of like miscommunication in the world. We don't want to sit back and take the time and understand that somebody else is going through something too. So therefore, it's a reason why they act the way they act and the decisions that they're making. But all I can say for y'all, man, is me getting to a better space in life through all of these years I've been here on this planet. I can say this, man, like I'm at a real good spot where I can see where everybody's coming from. I'm not going, it doesn't overwhelm me. I just get it. I'm so relaxed. I'm so much in a good space mentally, man. And I love it. And I would love that for my audience too as well. We done been through many different things, and not saying that nobody was perfect on our way here. But it took me on a journey to get to where I'm at today, man. And I'm thinking so much clearer. You can see what's happening right in front of us. And I'm happy that I can articulate and let y'all know what's going on in a particular way without compromising my safety. All I can say to y'all is, look, man, the world is changing. The financial situation is changing. The financial infrastructure is just completely shifting. With or without you. Most of y'all will be using it without even knowing. And that's going to be your fault. Like I said, man, I love these videos. I don't believe everything that comes on these videos. In real life, I'm super, super solid, super level-headed, and focused, man. And I got a mission here. I got to keep y'all entertained, and on top of that, I got to give y'all the truth. But sometimes the truth is not as entertaining. Hopefully, y'all made it through this video. Let me know in the comments down below if y'all made it through this video. If y'all can see where I'm coming from. I didn't want to overspeak the whole video. I just wanted to show y'all what's out there, what's happening, and what's changing. They're doing it right before our eyes, but a lot of people will say that, oh, we don't know this ever happened. That's because you're focused on the wrong things. And honestly, we got to take some accountability. It is our fault. It is our fault, but you're not going to be able to say that it's my fault anymore, y'all. I've told y'all about this years ago, but I'm just giving y'all an update to let y'all know things are changing. They already passing legislation, and it's gonna be over if you don't wanna. I can't tell y'all what to do, but look, I'm gonna get off this video, man. Hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying in the comments down below. If you understand what I'm saying in the comments down below, what would you say in my words that I want to tell y'all that I can't tell y'all? If you get that right, I promise you, I'll give you a cash prize. First person I see in the comments to get it right. That's why I saved it for the end of this video. Let me know. Just keep it simple. What do I want y'all to say? What do I want y'all to do? But look, I'll see you on the next video. And like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next video, and I'm out though. Bye.